Hello everyone, and welcome to the Only Thing Gaming channel. Today we're diving deep into the story of Mafia: The Old Country, a gripping tale set in early 1900s Sicily filled with ambition, betrayal, and tragedy. Just a quick heads up, this video contains major story spoilers. If you haven't finished the game yet, I highly recommend checking out my spoiler-free Mafia review. You can find it in the cards above. Come back to this video once you've wrapped up the game. Alright, with that out of the way, grab yourself a drink and let's jump into the story of Mafia: The Old Country. Oh, and before we get into it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think of this story and where the Mafia series could go next. Mafia: The Old Country is set in early 1900s Sicily. Our protagonist, ENZO Favara, works in a mine owned by the ruthless Spadaro family after his father sold him to Don Spadaro for just 100 lira. From the opening cutscene, the game wastes no time showing Enzo's ambitions. He and his best friend Gaetano are seen stashing money away, dreaming of escaping this brutal life, but as is often the case in video games, things don't go as planned. A nearby volcano has caused tremors and gas leaks in the mine. When some workers go missing, El Merlo sends Enzo and Gaetano to investigate. They find the miners dead. As they try to escape, Gaetano drops their hidden money. He goes back for it, and the mine collapses. Gaetano didn't survive. Fueled by grief and rage, Enzo confronts El Merlo, the cruel overseer. The two fight, and Enzo slashes Merlo's face. He steals a horse and escapes. Enzo hides in a barn, but the Spadaros quickly track him down. Just when all hope seems lost, Don Torrisi appears. Turns out, the barn lies within his territory, and he refuses to hand Enzo over. Instead, Don Torrisi takes Enzo in. He assigns Luca to look after him and help him settle in. Enzo is given a place to sleep and in the morning meets Cesare, a tough but important figure in the Torrisi household. Cesare puts Enzo to work on the vineyard, carrying crates, cleaning stables, that sort of thing. While working, Enzo meets a mysterious woman who seems interested in him. Later that night, at a celebration for the Don's daughter's name day, Enzo realizes the woman is Isabella Torrisi, the Don's daughter. She is strong-willed and feels trapped under her father's control, something that draws her to Enzo. Enzo, ambitious as ever, wants to prove himself. When the family's horse rider is too drunk to race in a traditional event, Enzo volunteers. He carries the Don's reputation on his shoulders and wins. His reward, he gets to deliver wine in the area. But it comes with a surprise visit from Isabella and a dangerous encounter with El Ombra, El Merlo's brother. Enzo defeats him in a knife fight, and Luca warns him to keep his distance from Isabella. If they are seen together, people can start making stories. Despite the warnings, Isabella and Enzo's relationship grows. One day, Isabella sends him a letter asking to meet in the garden. They're caught by Tino, not someone you want to get on the wrong side of. Enzo then discovers the Torrisi family's business isn't just about wine. He begins working with Luca and Cesare, collecting protection money from merchants and farmers on Torrisi land. Fast forward to 1905, Enzo and Cesare are closer than ever. Don Torrisi meets Baron Raphael Fontanella, who owns most of the land Torrisi operates on. The Don plans to marry Isabella off to the Baron's son, Gennaro, a plan Isabella despises. Enzo, Cesare, Isabella, and Gennaro go out to see ancient ruins. Enzo and Isabella are left alone, taking their time and enjoying each other's company. But things take a dark turn. Isabella and Gennaro are kidnapped. Enzo manages to save Isabella, then tracks down the kidnappers to rescue Gennaro too. The Don is impressed by Enzo's bravery. Later, he tasks him with killing Ludovici, the Baron's shady business partner who orchestrated the kidnapping. Enzo gets the job done. Enzo and Isabella's secret relationship deepens. They continue exchanging letters. One day, Cesare takes Enzo to go through a family ritual, welcoming him as a full-fledged member of the Torrisi family. Later that night, Enzo, Cesare, and Luca celebrated this occasion. On the same night, Cesare gave Enzo an apartment. Enzo has come a long way from being just a mime boy. Later, Don Torrisi is planning to expand his business to the American market. Don Torrisi and Don Galante's plan is to print cash for the Americans, and in return the American market opens up to them. But there's only one problem with this plan. The finest counterfeiter they've enlisted is captured by the police, and that's where Enzo comes in. His mission is to free him. As Enzo was looking for a certain contact in the market, he met Isabella. She asked him to invite her to his place or else she will take matters into her own hands. Remember this encounter as it's important later on. What's also important later on is Enzo's encounter with El Ombra inside the prison, so keep it in mind. For now, Enzo completed his mission and returned to his place. He found a not very surprising visitor in his apartment. They spent the night together, and from now on their relationship became more serious and riskier. Having access to the American market offered a new opportunity. Leo Galante managed to get a car from America with bullet holes in it. His plan is to win a car race. However, there are two problems with this. He needs to fix the car, and he needs the organizer of the race to let him into the race. Enzo's next move is to photograph the organizer, Marquis Saragossa, with girls, so that he will grant them entry into the race. Even though they had a rough start as the car malfunctioned, Enzo and Cesare still managed to win the race. Later that night, as Enzo and Isabella were together, Tino pays a surprise visit to Enzo's apartment. He noticed two glasses on the table. He entered the bedroom, but Isabella wasn't there. Tino warns Enzo about a police raid on the tannery. Someone tipped them off. Turns out it was El Ombra. Enzo and Cesare take him down, staging his death as an accident to avoid war between families. However, this whole incident caused tension between the families. Don Torrisi accused El Ombra of colluding with the law. Don Spadaro denied that he had anything to do with this, stating that El Ombra acted alone. Later, Baron Fontanella visits Don Torrisi to inform him of a worker striking situation outside his factory. This factory is run by Lorenzetti, one of the Don's trusted men who has managed to keep order for years, but suddenly he's accused of being behind this strike. Enzo tracked Lorenzetti and he found him in the same factory. He was murdered by the Spadaros. They ambushed Enzo. The factory was set on fire in the encounter, but Enzo survived this ambush. Word of this reached Don Torrisi. Now he is sure that the war is unavoidable. As things heat up, there's a moment of peace. Luca and Valentina have a child, and everyone gathers for the baptism. Isabella deliberately delays herself so Enzo can drive her. On the way, they speak of marriage, but during the family photo, a sniper, El Merlo, attacks. Enzo chases him down, and just as El Merlo gains the upper hand, Luca kills him. Afterwards, Don Torrisi meets with the Baron and Don Galante, who convince him to hold peace talks with the Spadaros. Meanwhile, Isabella hasn't seen Enzo in weeks. She tells him they need to talk. At the meeting, things fall apart. The Baron is planning to sell some of his lands to Don Spadaro, including the vineyard, which Don Torrisi has taken as his home. They offer a proposal, and when it's refused, it turns out to be an ambush. Don Galante is killed, and Luca is fatally wounded. Before dying, Luca tells Enzo, "Get out if you can."
Get out. If you can. Get out. Luca!
Enzo has just lost his mentor. Don Torrisi then orders Enzo to assassinate the Baron and Don Spadaro in an opera house in Palermo. Isabella finds Enzo before he leaves. She warns him and tells him she's pregnant. Enzo proceeds anyway. He kills the Baron at the opera and chases down and kills Don Spadaro. Upon returning, Don Torrisi praises him and tells him that Luca has been buried. But Enzo and Isabella are done with this life. They plan to flee to America and raise their child away from this bloodshed. Ironically, the mine Enzo once worked in now belongs to Don Torrisi, and he puts Enzo in charge. Enzo pretends to accept, but he has other plans. First, he must eliminate the last 3 Spadaro captains. Enzo managed to take down all of his targets. The third target was hiding in a church. Enzo, Cesare, and Tino took him out in front of the priest. Tino takes the priest inside and interrogates him. As they were celebrating, Leo Galante helps Enzo by giving him 2 tickets to leave to America. Enzo and Isabella met and they were on their way. Enzo hands Isabella a letter on the way, but then everything collapses. At the train station, Tino was waiting. He knows everything. Isabella was confessing everything to the priest. When Tino interrogated him earlier, he told him everything about Enzo and Isabella. Don Torrisi is furious. He beats and insults Enzo, then instructs Cesare to kill him. The 2 fight. Enzo wins but spares Cesare.
Just do it. Come on! Why won't you do it? You're my friend.
As Enzo flees, his final obstacle is Don Torrisi himself. Enzo kills the Don, but Cesare betrays him and stabs him. Enzo dies, but Isabella lives. She escapes, kills Tino, and runs into Cesare, who quietly hands her a ticket. She knows what that means. She boards the boat to America and finally reads Enzo's letter.
Amore mio, we'll remember today for the rest of our lives. It's the day we chose a future for our family. My father left me for dead. Our child will live how they choose. Just knowing that makes everything we've been through worthwhile. I can't undo my past, but you helped me to rise above it. And for that you have my love, my loyalty, forever. ENZO.
And that's the full story of Mafia: The Old Country. A beautifully written, emotional journey with unforgettable characters and top-tier voice acting. I don't usually do full story breakdowns, but this one deserved it. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What did you think of Enzo's story? Do you think we'll see his son in a future game or maybe in a DLC? I'll be reading your comments. Until next time, take care and keep gaming. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see on your screen right now.